what would your strategy be to work with President Trump? The U.S. government only recognizing two genders, male, female, they're unchangeable. If elected as prime minister, is that something that you're going to kind of walk in line with, or what are your feelings on that executive order?
Well, I don't know. Do you have any other genders that...
Pierre Poilievre recently made headlines after an exchange on CP24 that quickly went viral. The incident unfolded during an interview where a reporter attempted to challenge Poilievre on his stance regarding gender identity and related policies. The line of questioning revolved around whether Poilievre would align with former U.S. President Donald Trump's executive order, recognizing only two genders, male and female, as unchangeable. As we move forward, I'd like to ask you a quick favor to subscribe and like this video. It takes just a second and helps us so much. Rather than being cornered by the inquiry, Poilievre delivered sharp, composed responses that highlighted his pragmatic focus on pressing national issues. His handling of the situation gained widespread attention, with audiences praising his ability to deflect what they perceived as a provocative moment. With a calm demeanor, he turned the question back on the reporter, asking him to name any other genders he believed should be recognized.
I'm not aware of any other genders than men and women. I mean, if you have any other that you want me to consider, you're welcome to tell me right now.
Well, personally, I am a man. I am people who say cis man. There are people there who, they say they're
me too.
Gender neutral.
Well,
you are a man. Yes. There are people there who say they're gender neutral. Yeah, they say they're gender neutral. They're a trans person. Is that something that you would recognize here, whereas in the States, at least with their U.S. government, the way they're seeing it, there's only two?
I'm only aware of two, but I mean, if you come up with another list, then you're welcome to do that. But I'm aware of two, and as far as I'm concerned, we should have a government that just minds its own damn business and leaves people alone to make their own personal decisions.
The exchange took a broader turn as the reporter continued to press Poilievre on issues like gender-neutral identification on passports. Instead of engaging deeply with the specifics of these policies, Poilievre redirected the conversation to what he described as more pressing national priorities. He emphasized the need to address poverty, skyrocketing housing costs, and rising crime rates, issues he argued should take priority over debates about gender labels. By invoking U.S. President Donald Trump's executive order on gender recognition, the reporter aimed to draw Poilievre into a divisive discussion about gender identity. The phrasing of the questions seemed crafted to provoke a response that could either alienate a segment of the electorate or spark controversy in Canada's politically charged climate. A key moment in this approach was the reporter's self-identification as a cis man.
Yeah.
Well, personally, I am a man. I am people who say cis man. There are people there who, they say they're
me too.
Gender neutral. Well, you are a man, yeah.
A term commonly associated with progressive or so-called woke ideologies. This terminology, though widely recognized in academic and activist circles, is less familiar to many Canadians. Critics of the interview were quick to frame the exchange as an attempt to entrap Poilievre in a social debate that might overshadow his broader political agenda. This analysis of the reporter's tactics reveals the delicate balance journalists must maintain when engaging with political figures. While provocative questions can yield insightful answers, they also risk appearing agenda-driven, particularly when the public perceives them as detached from pressing national concerns. One of the most striking aspects of Poilievre's response was his emphasis on personal empowerment and the role of government. He asserted that a government should mind its own damn business and allow individuals to make their own decisions. By framing his leadership approach as one that prioritizes the autonomy and well-being of Canadians, Poilievre reinforced his vision of a government focused on delivering tangible results rather than policing cultural debates. Another memorable element of Poilievre's response was his use of humor and composure to disarm the reporter. His visible amusement at the reporter's self-identification as a cis man and his light-hearted reaction to the terminology not only diffused the tension but also endeared him to viewers. This approach made him appear relatable and authentic, while subtly reinforcing his position. The exchange between Pierre Poilievre and the CP24 reporter quickly gained attention, especially on platforms like X. The commentary surrounding the exchange was lively, with many users taking to X to analyze the moment and share their thoughts. A popular voice in the online discussion came from a user known as The Pleb, who offered a detailed commentary on the interaction.
So yes, folks, the woke media once again tried to get Pierre, and Pierre Poilievre makes him look absolutely foolish and goes viral in the process. When are they going to stop trying to do this to Pierre? Because it always backfires. And you know what? I'm loving every moment of it. And to make things even worse for the left and send them into an even bigger meltdown, Pierre Poilievre posted this picture yesterday,
The Pleb's perspective painted the reporter's line of questioning as part of a broader woke agenda, aimed at trapping Poilievre in a conversation that some felt was irrelevant to the pressing issues Canadians face. Viewers on social media seemed to relish the entire spectacle, with many commenting on how Poilievre handled the interview professionally. The lighthearted atmosphere surrounding the clip was described by some as a moment similar to Christmas morning.
Today is one of those days. It truly feels like Christmas morning as a kid, and you see all those Christmas gifts underneath the tree. And today is one of those days because Pierre Poilievre did it again.
A metaphor for the joy they felt watching Poilievre disarm the reporter with ease. After the clip went viral, the reporter himself responded to the backlash, attempting to defend his actions and clarify his position.
The reporter, after going viral, comes underneath my tweet here and writes this: "Number one, I'm not woke." Okay, he called himself a cis male. What kind of non-woke person uses ridiculous language like that? 2, I don't play gotcha. 3, watch the full interview here.
He denied any attempt at being woke, a term that had become synonymous with the progressive social ideology that many critics viewed as an overreach into everyday life and politics. In his defense, the reporter stated that he wasn't trying to trap Poilievre, insisting that his questioning was simply part of holding him accountable on important issues. However, the reporter's denial felt hollow to many, especially considering the provocative and confrontational nature of his questioning. Poilievre's calm, confident, and humorous response to the reporter's line of questioning enhanced his relatability. By dismissing the attempt to provoke him, he showcased a leadership style that doesn't crumble under pressure, but instead stays focused on what truly matters to the people. The comparison between Pierre Poilievre's approach and that of other political figures like Chandra Arya offers an interesting lens through which to view the dynamics of Canadian politics. While Poilievre has maintained a clear, focused strategy on addressing practical issues like housing, poverty, and crime, Chandra Arya's campaign highlights a different set of challenges and strategies. Arya, who is vying for the leadership of the Liberal Party, has made headlines for his candid admission of not speaking French, a point that has raised eyebrows in a bilingual country. His views on multiculturalism, particularly his belief that it sometimes leads to communities being isolated in ghettos, have also caused significant debate. Arya's statements on multiculturalism and his apparent struggles with language proficiency paint a picture of a candidate who, while charismatic and vocal, may not resonate with every segment of the Canadian electorate. Part of Poilievre's growing appeal comes from the image he projects, both politically and personally. On social media, the buzz surrounding his physical appearance has played an interesting role in shaping how people perceive him. Comments like "jacked" or references to his disciplined approach to fitness reflect the broader narrative of Poilievre as someone tough, determined, and capable of standing up to the political establishment. Looking ahead, this viral exchange may have lasting implications for how politicians engage with the media and the public. Poilievre's success in handling a potentially embarrassing moment may set a new standard for future political campaigns in Canada. As we reflect on the viral exchange, what do you think of Poilievre's response to the reporter? Is it a clever move, or does it distract from more substantive issues? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments.